Hi there, Miranda Alt here with Keller Williams Success Real Estate and the Miranda Alt team with your Monday market update from Monday, July 1st, 2024. Thanks so much for watching. Happy 4th of July week. We've got a pretty slow week this week with real estate. So many people are traveling. Both last week and this week, we've definitely seen kind of a slowdown in our market. So let's take a quick look at our last 7 days in Montgomery County and take a look at the numbers. We had 162 new listings, only 137 under contract. I think a lot of that is due to people traveling. I don't know about you, but I personally have so many friends that have either just left for vacation or are just coming back. This week, so many people are taking off. So this is kind of a weird couple of weeks where we're really in the thick of the summer market. We've got people transacting. We've got a lot of closings happening, but we just kind of have this 2-week kind of lull while people enjoy the holidays. When I tell people about, the real estate market and the holidays that really affect us, it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, and 4th of July. 4th of July affects us almost as much as Christmas and Thanksgiving. So it's going to be a little bit of a rough couple of weeks in terms of showings, homes going under contract, that kind of thing. So again, 162 new, 137 under contract, a huge discrepancy there. 134 closed sales, which is great. That is a good number for us right now, given the year that we're having. 43 price changes, 2 expireds, and 51 currently on the private network. I think we're going to see a big push in the weeks following the 4th of July with homes coming to market and going under contract. As I've been saying all along, I do anticipate a very strong third and fourth quarter. We're still experiencing really low number of transactions, though. You've got to realize we still have a lot of people that are locked in at 3 and 4% interest rates, and with the current interest rates being around 7, there's sort of that pain tolerance that we're experiencing right now. I'm having more and more people calling me and finally saying, gosh, I've been waiting for interest rates to come down. We thought this was going to be the year. Clearly, it's not going to be. The Feds initially started saying that they were going to cut rates 3 or 4 times. Now they're saying maybe once, and we don't even know if that will be pushed off until 2025. So as of right now, we're having a really slow year in terms of number of transactions. But then on the other side of the coin, we're also having record high prices. Our interest rates are holding at about 7%. We haven't seen a whole lot of volatility happening there. They've really been pretty steady, but they're not coming down. And a lot of people had been waiting in 2023 for interest rates to come down and said, oh, I'll just wait till next year. And we've got sort of that pain point happening right now. So we've got a lot of people who have been waiting for prices to come down. They've been waiting, in 2021 they were going to buy, and they said, oh, these prices are crazy. We're going to wait for the crash. Crash didn't happen, even though I was telling them that it wasn't going to happen, but they didn't listen to me. They still had this sort of impending doom feeling that there was going to be a crash. Well, there wasn't. And clearly there won't be. And so, they were waiting in 2021 for prices to come down. Well, then interest rates started to go up in 2022 and 2023. And then they were like, oh, we're going to wait for interest rates, and all of this waiting. And life has continued to happen because, as we've talked about, life circumstances are why people move, not interest rates. And so let's say maybe they've had more babies than they were anticipating, and maybe they've had job transfers and they've now been driving an hour and a half to work thinking, oh, we're going to wait to move until interest rates come down. And what I'm hearing, what I'm experiencing is a lot of people coming to me and saying, all right, Miranda, we can't wait anymore. We've been waiting. We kept thinking that things were going to change, and it's done nothing but get worse. Or we have people who have been waiting to buy their first home. I've talked to more and more first-time home buyers who have said, Miranda, our parents told us not to buy in 2021, not 2022, 2023. We've been waiting. And we're done waiting because all it's done is gotten worse, and it's gotten more, and affordability has become even more of a challenge. We are seeing people's wages go up, but the wages are not increasing at the rate that the prices are going up of the homes. And so that monthly payment is becoming a bigger problem for people to handle. So again, getting back to that pain tolerance talk, that's kind of where we're at. We're starting to see some people's pain tolerance, even though they love their 3% interest rate, they love their, not having an hour and a half commute more. It's more important to them to have a lesser time of a commute if their job changed. Or, some people, if they've had babies and their home is too small and the kids keep getting bigger and bigger, which is kind of bound to happen. And they've been thinking that the home was going to last them another year and they could wait. They just can't wait anymore. Maybe now they're pregnant with yet another child. We're seeing a lot of that. So it's the pain tolerance that I think we're seeing that's causing people to finally make that decision that they're just going to move. And I think the third quarter, when yet again, we won't see the rates come down, we're going to see more people come into market and just deciding it's just time. It's just time. Another interesting point, Lawrence Yun was on NPR this last week and was talking about what are some factors that are affecting people. And he talked about how his parents bought their first home at 16% interest rate. And if you ask them today if that was still a good financial decision, they would say yes, that it was one of the best financial decisions they ever made, even though buying a home at 16% interest rate seems right now like a crazy decision, but it was still a good investment because in the long term, they were able to refinance when rates came down, and over long term, they still now have an investment and have a piece of property that has value. So there is still that sentiment of home ownership is still a good financial investment, and there is still that dream of home ownership amongst the vast majority of the American population. We see interest rates are going up, and rates are, I'm sorry, not interest rates are going up, interest rates are holding, but we see that rents are going up. So people who are renting are paying more and more each month and each year. And while those people who bought a home, they're locked in at that payment. And I know people who are still only paying $1,600 a month for their home. And I know renters that are paying more than $2,000 or $2,200 or $2,500. The average rental price in the Northern Illinois area is $2,200 a month. That's more than a lot of people's mortgage payments. So, we are seeing people sort of with those golden handcuffs still locked into that low interest rate. And if their job hasn't changed and their family hasn't changed, they're great. They're not moving. So that is why we're still seeing a low number of transactions, because there's a lot of people that don't have an incentive to move. But we do still have those people who are experiencing life changes that are causing them to finally move and just deciding enough is enough. They're at the pain point. They can't tolerate it anymore. And the 3% interest rate is great, but it's not as great as their desire to move. So that's what we're seeing. So if you were to ask me right now, Miranda, is it a good time to buy? I'd say yes, depending on your situation, depending on your life situation. If you're renting, yes, it's definitely a good time to buy because your rental payment is 100% interest. So definitely a good time to buy if you're a renter. If you are somebody who's maybe just going to live here for another couple of years, maybe it's not a good time to buy. So we can chat about that. But if you have questions about that, please give me a call. I'm always here to answer all of your questions. I'm at 815-529-0777 or 𝗨𝗽𝗱𝘆@gmail.com, or you can always message me here on social media. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy the holiday, and we'll see you next week.